Okay. Welcome everyone. Hope y'all can hear me. My name is Darian Tucker. This is Civilized Eyes Podcast, which you're watching. Uh, we we're getting started with the year newly. We're glad that everyone could tune in that's tuning in tonight. Um, I'm gonna open up the panel to let them introduce themselves. I'm gonna let you go ahead, Gabriel.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hi, this is Gabriel Bruce. I hope everybody had a great 2021, and we look forward to bigger and better things here in 2022.
Okay. And then we have a special guest on tonight, and then Dushan, she's gonna be here again in a little while. Um, so I'm gonna go into the announcement. So Civilized Eyes, we're still still fairly new to the podcast thing, but last year we got started and we started recording um, segments every Sunday at 7 p.m. Today we try to go live every Sunday uh, to establish you know that notoriety with our audience and everything. Um, we collaborated with other organizations, specifically like Grassroot Connectors, Eugene Tribe, um, and things like that, even with churches as well. We're thinking about this year trying to, get ourselves with the established with the EIN number, apply for some grants, maybe even once we know about the in depths of whether or not it'll affect our personal, uh, you know, income things like that. That some of us are on social supplemental security, and had um, thoughts whether or not that some of them things or initiatives would affect our social supplemental security to help the blind community and disabled community with the getting grants and things like that. But that's basically it with the announcements. Probably have some towards the end of this podcast. From the rest of the panel. Uh, Stay tuned. For the contact information. You might hear some interesting things. Well, I think you're gonna hear some interesting things tonight. Uh, so Warren, I know Warren from the National Federation of the Blind, which is like a 81-year-old blind organization. You know, and we get a lot of our resources and information from the NFB to it's pretty much like a framework for a lot of blind individuals that's seeking to expand themselves. They thought they had no hope, but they got hope from the NFB. Warren, he's a close friend of mine. When I was, pretty much uninformed about what the route to go to get myself established independently, to do what it is that I want to do uh, in this world, in this life. Uh, he coached me through a government program called the Vote Rehab and things like that. So we're gonna let him come on and introduce himself more uh, to you all that don't know him. He was on the podcast last year, and pretty much just want to see if he have any updates from that standpoint. Uh, from the last time that he was on the podcast. So Warren, we're glad to have you back, and you know, let you have the floor.
more options to remove from solo layout button from more mute button to add more from more add mute more add as enter solo mute more mute turn off make a turn mute more mute solo remove more option mute add more option add the stream button enter.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you. I got kicked out.
Oh, okay. So I said, yeah, Warren. I introduced you just a little bit, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and have the floor, give you updates from from the last time that you was on the podcast from that standpoint.
All right. Well, good afternoon. I'm Warren Crudup. I'm there. Oh, I forgot where I left off the last time, Darren. I didn't get a chance. You didn't get a chance to update me, but
Oh, well, the last time you was talking about your business, Nico, uh,
okay.
your website and things like that. Told everybody what you pretty much did as a professional part of your life and things like that. And you told I think you told us a little bit about how you went blind as well.
Hmm.
Right. Right. Hey, Deshaun.
Hey.
Yes. So again, my name is Warren Crudup, and I have a small home business called the Nickel Life Coaching LLC. That's spelled INIKO, Life Coaching. Um, I love it. It's it's helping people with disabilities, blind, especially in the blind community. I don't just restrict it to the blind community because I used to be paralyzed myself from the waist down. So disability to me is a disability. You know, they come in all different kinds of form and fashion, and so many things are similar to each other that the crossover, um, it's a lot of things in common. So I love it. Go on my website, check me out. Email and phone number and everything is on there. Um, and then I also is a leader on the morning prayer line. It's mainly for people with disability, visual impairment, and blindness, but it's not restricted to just blindness. Uh, and that's IMB, and that's at 6:30 in the morning. About 8 years into it right now. It's growing, and people just love it.
Enter.
Okay. Any questions from the panel uh, for Warren?
So we know we had you on the podcast last year, and for those who didn't get to um, hear that, they can also go back to the archives and listen to it again. But just how have things been going for you during the brief time since we last heard from you?
It's been going pretty good. I kind of backed down just a little bit because of the COVID going on so much, and so many people are hurting now, and um, we all know a lot of people are dying. So it personally can get to you. So I just kind of like backed down, took a breather during the holidays, but I'm still open for business and ready to go any day.
Mute enter.
So going
Okay.
forward, any
What are
any
some? Do you have some advice for those? I know you got your business up and running the life coach and the website. What do you have any advice for those that's on like social supplemental security income, like um, that wants to like start opening up a business and start bringing in some money and investing and things like that?
Yes. Of course, you need a dream. You need a model that you want to try to follow, and go on the, get a name. Go on the state website for a business license. Pull up that name and see is it there. I don't worry about the small stuff too much. Just start out with a name, and usually $99 to get you started with a name. Get you some business cards. That's definitely the second thing I would do, and just start telling people about what you're doing, and try to write down as many contacts as possible that you get, because everybody is a prospect. Like you can see somebody today and they're healthy, and tomorrow could be a different story. So, we get named. They also have friends and relatives that could be healthy today and tomorrow's a different story.
Enter.
Okay. Thank you for that. Dushan, do you have any questions?
Enter.
Well,
Okay.
I'll ask another question. So, is there any advice that you may have for those who are also trying to start a business during? We know that normally, under normal circumstances, the success rate and also the challenges that we all find in business, but now we have this new challenge would have presented himself with COVID. So, would it be any extra advice or any extra precautionary steps that a person would need to take during this process and this season that we're going through right now?
No, not unless it's directly would impact you because of the COVID. For instance, you need to be 5 feet in front of somebody. Don't let that stop you. There's always going to be challenges. Every day you wake up. Matter of fact, you should wake up looking for a challenge, because if you can solve a challenge, you made one step forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
And other than that, any other things that's going on with you you would like to talk about at this time?
Just early in the summertime, I was in a coma for 3 days.
Okay.
And that put me into dialysis. That's another reason I kind of stepped back a little bit. Put me into dialysis 3 days a week. So definitely, eat good, drink good, watch no frozen stuff. That's one place you never want to be. But it happens, and I
Mm-hmm.
noticed a couple years ago, more and more dialysis centers open. It seemed like on
Right.
every corner, almost like liquor stores.
Yeah. I can recall it myself back in
yeah,
that
but
sometime.
but when you actually get on it, you see a lot more than what you thought you was around the corner. But you know,
Hmm.
definitely eat good. Try not to never be on dialysis, and keep me in prayer to get off of it soon, because you can get off of it.
I know a lot of times people have always thought in the past that it was a lifetime. Once you get on it, you're on there for the rest of your life. And so you can
No,
let people know that it's not a lifetime sentence.
no, definitely not. Not for everybody. I've been talking to people, and I thought that too. But I've been
Hmm.
talking to some people, and it took them 5 years, took them 8 years, 8 months, 5 months. Um, it depends on a few main factors.
Okay.
How long you be on there? One is your diet. If you're diabetic, that makes it harder. You definitely need to reverse that.
Hmm.
Your weight. Your weight has a lot to do with it. You need to be in compliance with what your height and weight should be. So, that comes with exercise, and your blood pressure. You got to get your blood pressure up under control. And with those three things, blood pressure, weight, and get off of diet. If you're diabetic, get off of it. you're a good candidate for a transplant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking to some people. I'm talking right now to the transplant center. I actually have an appointment next week
Okay.
because I'm there, with those three things.
And I know you're speaking of transplant. For those who may not, know what type of transplant you may need,
It's
or
a
is that
kidney
kid?
transplant.
Okay.
Yeah, sometime a pancreatic
Mm-hmm.
transplant, but the
Right.
kidney is the main thing.
Mm-hmm. And we have seen those transplants happen in the past, and we see the list, and I assume you're on the list. That's correct. And
I will be next week. I have an appointment. I gotta just do some chest X-rays, some blood
mm-hmm.
work. If all that turns out good, I will definitely be put on it next week.
Okay. And is it any steps or anything that once you get on the list, we can do as a community to help um, those who may need transplant?
Yeah. Number one, donate. Um, and that sounds like, why
Yeah.
would I want to donate a kidney? Well, you
Mm-hmm.
only need one to live on.
Right.
Um, like I say, it's a growing need. So you could donate one. One of the things I just found out yesterday, if you ever donate one and you ever need any kind of follow-up appointments or anything, it's a lifetime. Um, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm still here. Go ahead.
Yeah, we still here. Um,
Okay.
I noticed that like when I asked for advice from a nonprofit organization down here in LaGrange, they said that I might want to go ahead and go to SBA.gov, which is a small business administration. Um,
Yes.
business that counsels people that want to start a small business for free. Um, would you recommend that those that trying to get their small business started that they receive advice from all over the place, or they just stick with one person? Um, you know, the counseling, I don't know if they charge or not, but do you would you be a person that can tutor, I guess you could say, tutor someone, or would you recommend that they probably get some advice from you and that website?
SBA is a great business, especially for loaning money. It comes with some requirements. They've been around for ever. So, definitely land there one day. But yeah, my company, I've already helped a couple people start a business, help you direct you to things that if once you do it once, it's just a repeat of doing the same thing over, but put it towards the type of business that you're trying to open. But as I tell everybody, grab all the information you can and learn to filter out the things that's not for you. Because I can't, I'm just human. I can't give you everything that you may need. I could give everything somebody else may need, but information is information. Just learn to, take the information and filter it out and do your research. Homework, homework, homework.
Okay, okay. Um,
Just
now what?
before we get too far, can I transition back to that donor information right quick? Just I had one quick question I want
Yeah.
to ask. Um, we know, and in the past, it was always a push to organ be an organ donor. I think the DMV used to. I don't know if they still do it. Used to give you some kind of incentive offer you, with your ID or license to become a donor. And we know over the years it kind of have died down. So, what push would you have to encourage those who may want to, who may be thinking about becoming an organ donor and be weighing that as an option?
Um, well, DMV was a great way to identify organ donors. Um, People who had the mindset say, "Yeah, I want to donate," but a lot of people started using it just to get a free driver's license or a discount off of a driver's license. So I don't think that's the great way to do it. But if you want to be a donator, do your homework. I'm a fan of homework. See what it takes. It's a process, but everybody needs help someday, and it could be you. It could be your mother, your niece, your nephew. Um, so think about it. It's not a life killer in no kind of way. It's just giving up something that you really don't need, but only one of them. I hope that answers your question there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Enter.
Okay.
Mute button.
All right. And but like all this information, um, audience, this will be uploaded on the YouTube channel. Along, you can go back and look at the previous podcast when we had Warren on as well. Uh, yeah, Warren, we just we thank you for the time that you take out to support us and also to like share information about yourself. So uh, it's kind of pretty much like we're doing a co-op thing because you have your own business and we're an upcoming business as well. We want to keep that pattern and relationship us operating together to achieve a common goal. All right, I have if there's no more questions for Warren, I hope that you stay uh for like I don't know what you might call it, maybe like a pop topic. Um, I did some research on some new findings that university has have done to improve the vision for blind people, so they can better navigate in their world, in their lives, in our lives. Um, they came up with a instrument called the CRISPR biological tool, and what it does, um, it gene edits. So, like, say if someone has like a vision disorder from the lack of a certain tissue in their eye, your retina might deteriorate, or something else like retina pigmentosa. What the CRISPR biological tool would do, it kind of go in there and slice or cut, make an incision on the core of the cell, the retina cell, or the cornea, and it'll take along with it the tissue that it needs, what the tissue that's missing that's causing all this dysfunction, and it'll insert it into that area, and the DNA will try to put itself back together and kind of like glue that tissue back in there, and over time it'll start growing back. They did a trial, and it kind of it worked on this one guy. He started seeing color, and then he started getting his like peripheral vision back. So that's one thing with the CRISPR biological tool. They're thinking about using it for all other types of things as well. Um, this update was, let me say, like 1 month ago. It was like a 1 month ago thing. Well, the video was uploaded a month ago. So it's kind of fairly new. It's nothing like old. And then they got the Ryan, uh, the Ryan VPU, visual something unit, which is kind of like it'll be more like a implant into the brain. They created, it's kind of like a bionic eye. In the front it's a camera, and it got it, well, it'll display a pixel image to the blind person. They're not going, when they look at a baseball, it's not just going to be what a person with 20/20 is going to see, but it'll be like kind of like just lights, maybe like three combinations of lights that'll symbolize that this is like a ball or whatever. They did a trial on this as well with a blind individual. Now there was some kickback, I mean, like some bad reactions. They put too much stimuli on the brain that caused the person to have a seizure. Uh, so they trying to fix that bug out. They knew that there was a possibility that might happen. So these are some things that I just wanted to bring to you and the audience, and the panel, and just see what we thought about these things. What we have went through the trial, or what we just want to, what we have like some different ways about going to try to improve blindness in another way.
Wow, wow. Well, I definitely thank you again for inviting me. I have an open door policy. Invite me back anytime. I'd love to come on and talk about a lot more things that I have already experienced. And when it comes to that research, there, the first one sounded great to me. Um, I would probably do that one. I don't know about the brain one yet, uh, but I would definitely be doing my homework. Trying to find out more about it, because research is the key. It's the answer. Like I said earlier, do your homework, because things change every day. Technology definitely change every day. But I definitely thank you for having me on, and let's do our homework.
Well, we thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you once again in the near future. And if you would
Okay,
like to
and we
go
got
ahead.
Dushine back. And she heard, the only thing that she heard was the new findings from the universities. I want to see if she have anything to say about that, and then Caber will, guess if you have some more things. I got some more things too that I want to talk about and ask.
Thank you so much, Darren.
Awesome.
What I have to say as far as the findings is that I'm happy that they were able to find a way to where people who have visual loss or some visual impairment of some sort or another. I'm happy that they found a way to where those people, they can have some sort of sight now. So yeah, I appreciate that. Excuse me.
Okay, and Warren, you've been knowing Warren Logan than I have. What do you have anything that you would like to ask Warren, or like to say about him to the audience? Hello.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said you've been knowing Warren longer than I have. Would you like to say anything, or ask him anything?
Oh no, I pretty much, as you just said, I pretty much know Warren for quite some time now. So yeah, but yeah, I just want to say, hey Warren, thank you for appearing on the podcast, on our podcast again. Great always to have you.
Thank you, thank you. Next time we can't get disconnected, but it's great hearing your voice again, Tashawn.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right, Gabriel. Okay. think you might be on mute. Uh, yeah. So it's just a lot of things.
Was
Another
you
pop.
trying to reach me?
Oh yeah, I was saying if you wanted to say something else before I move on to the next thing.
Oh no, you could go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just a lot of things that I just be looking at to kind of provide some food for thought and also some resources. People know where to go to do certain things, um, get where they want, where they're trying to go. Another pop topic is all and everything that I'm talking about is evolving around blindness or disability. Um, I have this curiosity about how blind animals kind of navigate in their world and their lives. I see it a lot of the university professors and researchers and things looking at animals that's kind of going through the same thing and getting ideas and you know things from them and kind of transferring that information to the human life. How we can better kind of navigate. You know what I'm saying? And they've been noticing that animals for a long time now. They've been noticing that animals uh kind of like grow stuff, but like the toad, the frog. If you cut the toad's tail off, it'll grow back. You know what I'm saying? And a certain fish that loses its eye can grow the eye back. In little to no time. And they were trying to see what that gene was or whatever that those animals possess that allows them to do that at a fast rate. And they was thinking about how can they transfer that to like the retina, like if they might do a gene edit and add that to the retina, with for to grow the retina back or the optic nerve or things like that. And then also the next thing, they noticed that animals, even those animals that have sight, they navigate off something we call they call it magnetism. So there's like a magnetic field all around us that we can't see, but our cells can see, right? But those that like depend heavily upon their eyesight, they wouldn't be conscious to this because they use their eyesight a lot and not the cryptochrome that's inside our eyes that's able to detect the magnetic field and send it to our nerves and send signal to our brain and let us know that there's a magnetic field there that we're around. Um, so yeah, that's another pop topic, and I think that's the last pop topic that I have. If anyone has anything to say about that.
It's interesting to know that um, we know that animal research has been big in the past, and just to think that it's out there and to hear that animals can regenerate things, it gives hope because we know we can repurpose and regenerate. I know growing up, they always said when I lost my sight, and even to this day, everybody always say that your senses get you could hear better or you could feel better and things like that. But I always tell them I don't see it, but we know that some things can be when you lose something, some things can be supplemented. So just to know that I'm interested to see, and I'm gonna
Right,
do the
right,
research on this and see what kind of things that we lose as humans that we regrow or get repurposed, and that'll be a future topic for myself.
right.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to find out on that subject. Is it the size of the organ, like the eyes? Because for instance, I was outside early today, and we have probably all done this before. You were standing um, close to something, or especially a wall, there's a energy between every object. And if you
Okay.
stand, sometimes like I was standing in front of a garbage can, and even though I didn't know the garbage can was there, I felt that energy between me and the garbage can. And if you
Right.
stand between a wall, you feel that energy. So I wonder if the larger the eyes, or the larger the animal itself, are they feeling a bigger energy between them and what's between them and the universe, to be able to um, say, hey, there's something there. Let me go around it. Even if they're um, ear incense, the ears is larger as well. So are their ears hearing things? If their magnitude of energy is larger. I'm just kind of curious about that.
Right. Right. And see, this also, these findings and research shows us that we don't really know ourselves a lot. We don't really know our capabilities. Um, in the animal world, it kind of shows us that we're not really looking for those capabilities in ourselves, but we're looking for the machines to give us that. My dad said something really profound the other day, where he said, we're kind of taking out, taking strength from ourselves. Like, a lot of people don't memorize nothing or try to remember anything, because there's always the internet to go to, or you can just tell Google to, hey, and then that means, and it kind of like you putting your mind outside of your body rather
And
than.
that used to help train us and keep us sharp. Because I went to places, people ask me for my phone number or my wife's phone number or somebody's phone number, and if I don't have my phone, man, I don't know it.
Right.
Because I
Yeah,
don't have.
yeah.
Go ahead.
And
I'm sorry.
then,
No, go ahead.
and then that trash can thing, that is energy. Your body, you can't not now, if you could see, you wouldn't be trying to focus on that type of energy. But by you not having any sight, right, Cairo, when you
Mm-hmm.
lose your senses, uh your body does compensate that sense with the other senses. That's a fact there. The energy, like your brain, at the back of your brain, the cerebrum, I think it is, or the brain stem. If the function of it is to orient, give orientation, balance, all of that. And then, from the university discovered that there's a thing, a cell in our eye called cryptochrome. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but its function is to detect the magnetic fields. You know, uh, you know, the cell is, all these cells are highly intelligent. It sends that transfer that information of the magnetic fields and signals to the brain, and informs the whole and the brain informs the whole body that, okay, that track hand is there. There's something there, right there. You might not know what it is, but there's an energy right there, you know. And that's kind of how the animals, man, they're instinctive, and they go with it. They like up under the ocean. It's extremely dark, and there's pressure up under there. The deeper you go, and deeper you go, the farther away you come. You leave from the light above the surface. So what the animals do, they use that pressure to know how far they're going down. They their bodies tells them how much light they're receiving, so that lets them know how far they is up towards the surface. You know what I'm saying? And warmth and things like that. There's different layers, and they don't even use eyesight. Like looking straight and looking down, but they really they use the moon, the stars, and the sun to pinpoint what's north, west, east, and south. I think that's amazing, man. But we don't do that, man. We just look at the phone. You know what I'm saying? We look at the
Yeah.
phone, ask Siri, man, where are we, man? You know what I'm saying? But if that phone not there, it's just nature. I mean, what are you gonna do, man? What if the satellites fall out, or comet hit the satellite? What are we gonna do?
Well, that's where the human became more lazy too, because like I heard you when you said, Gabriel, that you didn't even know your wife number. I think I have you by a few years, but we used to remember everybody's number. Before there was cell phones out, you just memorized the number. But we also, if you're looking up something, we carried around dictionaries and encyclopedias and all these other research books, and you got into them and you study. But the internet, with the click of a button, the question is it making us lazier, or are we retaining more information now because we're looking up more things, but we're forgetting some of our basics? And that's why I relate to animals. They really haven't changed in many years. Are they sticking to their basics and following the moon, the sun, the wind to see, if they're going north, south, east, or west, if it's going to rain? Are they following their basics? Are we changing our basics? That's a good
Right,
thing to look at and try to figure out where we at compared to where they at.
right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
just to piggyback off of that, but I did today. I had to call out to my local hospital, and that number been the same for at least 60 some years. And I remember that number because I remember looking it up in the yellow pages, and if anybody know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what it is.
And I remember growing up that we used to every year you get a yellow page and you always go through the
Right.
yellow pages to see new numbers and the numbers the same. And then when I had to remember that number, my mind went back to that yellow page stage versus anything that I would have to remember now. And I still remember that number to this day, based on looking it up in the yellow pages 30
Right.
years
Right.
ago.
Yep.
So
Right.
and so now I think now it's based on us just people call us and we just write their name and that just be it. And we may not even see the number or remember numbers or anything or a
Right.
lot of things and remembering. And that's why our memories is so
Okay. And then
go.
I mean memory. Okay. Um, I'm always dedicate myself to look at all these university findings, because the universities, if believe it or not, they think for this whole nation. The scientists and the political scientists, and you might think that the president is what run this thing, and comes up with all these great discovery, but the universities, man, when new findings come out, I mean, that's gonna be the next thing. I'm telling you. Uh, it'll help you all types of way, investment in the investment life and things like that. But I want to go back to the memory. I looked at some things about memory, and it said that those that listen to um, like a lecture, they're only going to remember like 30% of the whole entire lecture. 30% of the content. And those that write down information, they'll remember 70% of that, right? And then those that read, they'll remember like 60%. I might be off with the percentages, but that's about accurate, I think. Um, so and there have been a lot of trials and testing. That first there was a hypothesis, then the testing, and then they got the theory from a bunch of people that participated. That you're most likely to remember what you write, majority of what you write, more than you sitting in a lecture or or reading. But a lot of people just like to sit and listen. You know what I'm saying? But it's very important that whatever you're listening to, that you note it down, or go on the website and read it. It's gonna be more impressionable upon the mind, because Gabriel just said today on the podcast that he remembers the hospital number just from reading it in yellow pages, seeing it in the yellow pages.
Yeah, because he probably went in there and looked it up and wrote it down, or looked it up several times and made the phone call. And we're, like he said, our cell phone, the number come in and we just save it. We don't even look at it.
Right.
Maybe if we write it down one time, or at least the third thing was to at least read it. Probably a great bet of a chance that we're going to memorize it. But we hit update, save, add to, and
set
and
reminder.
we just we keep moving, so we shooting off different triggers in our minds.
Right. Okay. So this gonna be the closing. Does that wanna what do y'all think that we should what do y'all think Civilized Eyes needs to do to make itself better going forward in the future for this year?
Well, I would definitely say have that plan.
Yeah.
Have that communication. That communication amongst the panel is definitely the plan. Because if one thinking one, you thinking another, and there's no communication or correct communication, then that will put you in a different direction from each other. But communicate, and then sit down, come up with a plan.
Right. I do believe, that the communication is the thing that I need to work on, you know what I'm saying? And consistency on schedules and everything else. Yeah.
It's because we are a team. We are a unit. We have to be one when we come together and have the same common goal. And so we had to stay on the same page and set time out to have open discussions with each other, and just make sure that we are still on the same page, have the same common goals, and if anything arise, deal with it immediately before it gets too far in the future.
Right. It's
Right.
almost like the old baseball game. If the pitcher is going to pitch a certain way, the team position themselves a certain way. If he's going to throw the ball and try to just to get him to bunt the ball, then we're going to move forward. But if you're going to throw it hard, the ball may go far. Or if the ball goes far, then the team goes the same direction as the ball. Because you go opposite of the ball, then you can't make it that home run. You can't make that catch.
Right. You're watching Civilized Eyes Podcast. We thank you all for coming out and listening to the panel, listening to Warren, and hopefully, we can get some comments out of y'all and see what you think Civilized Eyes needs to do to make, improve itself, make itself better for this year going forward. Um, we're gonna get into the contact information and social media platforms of Warren and also the Civilized Eyes podcast, and so y'all will reach out, have that opportunity to reach out to us when y'all need to, if y'all want to. Go ahead and like this video. If it helped you out or you think it might help someone else, subscribe to the YouTube channel and share it with your friends and things like that. Go watch some of our previous videos. There might be some good information in there that you might like, and just continue to support us, and we'll continue to try to support the community with information and guidance. So, Warren, can you provide us contact information, website, things like that, social media platforms? See what the people.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's Warren Crudup at CRUDUP. Website, you can find me at INIKO lifecoaching.com. Uh, and I have a second link that links off of that, which is a nickel disability service. You can call me at 404-565-0149. Great talking with y'all guys today. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you. We're glad to have you all the time, man, all the time. Gabriel. Okay.
Yeah, that's we thank each and every one of you for joining us, and don't forget, reeling what Darren said, like our social media, our YouTube page, comment below. Make sure you promote it, subscribe, and you can reach us at Civilized Eyes Podcast at gmail.com. That's Civilized Eyes Podcast at gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, reach us at that, or you can uh, comment below. Thank y'all.
All right, and I also want to, encourage the panel to also like share the platform, the channel and things like that on their pages and things. We want to try to
Right.
build as much notoriety as we can, so people can see us and see what we're, offering, things like that. Yeah. So the email is civilized eyes podcast at gmail.com. And if you want to find these videos, you could type civilized eyes podcast in your search edit box in the YouTube app or on the website. Um, Also, we don't have a phone number right now. We don't have a website, but your donation could contribute to that to help us, expand ourselves. In the near future, try to, maybe, you know, do some membership dues that might contribute to that. Um, but right now we're not doing that. But uh, we're going to get there. Trying to figure out if there's anything else. Okay. Yeah. So we we're going we're having some upcoming events. I'm thinking about partnership with and partnering with. Be on the lookout for that probably on the next video. And then also, we're still requesting for people to send in their unused technology. We don't think that it should be wasted. We think it could be repaired and then uh, giving back to the community. So please, email us if you have anything like that, or if you come across somebody blind or disabled. Don't just pass them by, but refer them to us so we can assist and help them. All right. Thank you all for joining. See you on the next podcast.
StreamYard. Edit for variant and wrong enter. Not enter.